Recording.
Hey, welcome
Yay.
to the weekly mobile support meeting. I've set up a new monitor, a big one, so that's why I'm going to be looking like this. I look like Michael Verdi now. I just have to go like this a lot.
We all want
Okay.
to look like Michael Verdi.
I
Come
have
on.
a great new giant monitor. So I'll try to look at the camera now and then. Thanks for putting your updates in the Etherpad. This is where we talk about mobile support for Firefox for Android, Firefox OS. Naoki has put his updates for QA for B2G and Firefox for Android in the Etherpad. Read them there. Ralph, did you get the bug number of the YouTube video issue that we talked about last week? That was your AI.
Um, no, I didn't.
Okay, if you
Okay.
think of it,
Mhm.
put it in there, and then we'll have it on file. This is for a YouTube video issue with B2G that they're seeing at Telefonica, and that showed up on the Geeks Phone forums too all of a sudden one day. It won't play videos. I know it's a known issue, so we just put the bug number in there. Are there thoughts on the QA update that people want to mention here while we're recording this meeting again? Welcome back, Roland. Thanks for recording. We haven't had recordings, so we're glad to have you back. Anything on the QA update? I mean, we talked this morning about the crashes being lower in Firefox for Android, and that they're doing well here. But Naoki is a crash kill guy, so he calls out a few crashers for Firefox for Android here. But we know it is still at least a little better than desktop right now. As you said this morning, Tyler, 3% or something. Let's see. So my Firefox OS update. The Geeks Phone shop opened up again today with more phones available, and there are still some Keons left. It looks like the peaks are sold out again, though. They must have happened fast because I got on there a couple hours after someone pinged me about it, and they were already
It's
gone.
interesting, you give people a choice and they want the higher end phone. If it's only a few bucks,
Yeah,
no
it's
one
not that
wants the
much
lower
more.
end if you give
Yeah,
them a choice and it's cheaper. And it's not much cheaper.
yeah. Developers want the higher end device, yes. Um, so you can still get your key on. I should
Someday.
get one because I had to give mine up last week for the engagement camp that's happening in Colombia. And I know Ralph needs one, needs a new one
Yeah. I think first you
because
and
he
Ralph should
sat
get
on
one
his.
and then I can wait. It's fine.
You're still using yours though, right, Ralph?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know if I was clear last week. Like the screen is not actually cracked; it's just a video. So I think maybe the circuitry inside is what cracked or something.
Oh, okay.
But the screen itself is, yeah,
It's fine.
yeah.
Um, and I don't have new updates on the Geeks phones that I've ordered for contributors. I thought they were coming into the US a week ago, and now I haven't heard anything. So maybe they're still stuck in customs in London or something.
I talked to
So,
Matt today, and he said that they are in Florida in customs.
oh, I
They're
know I
sitting
heard
on.
that from somebody, but I don't know if that's actually true. I think that's just a rumor.
Gotcha.
Anyways, I wish I had new updates for all of you guys who are working on the KB and answering support questions already. You're doing great stuff. And I hope at least you guys got to order your t-shirts last week as part of the launch team, and we'll get you phones just as soon as we possibly get them ourselves. uh, Ralph, this is your update. Over-the-air updates were released last week for Geeks Phone.
Yes. So I did receive a over-the-air notification on my Geeks phone. Um, I wasn't able to install it, and I still haven't been able to install it. But I think it's because I'm running a custom build that somebody built up, compiled and built up. So maybe that's the reason why the update is failing. Um, the other thing is that the official build for flashing the phone from Geek's phone, they released it today, so I'll be able to flash this phone now with the actual official build, and then after that I'll be able to see if the over-the-air update will install correctly. But it was released for everybody, also at Geek's phone. So.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, do that and make sure the over-the-air update works. Otherwise, let somebody know. We can ping Geek's phone about it if it's still not working. Thanks for watching that, for watching the Geeks Phone forums. Is there anything else you're seeing in Spanish? Like today, I was just, man, I wish I knew Spanish. Why didn't I ever learn Spanish? There's so much out there about
You're
Firefox
soaking
OS
in
in
it.
Spanish right now. It's
Soaking
making
your
me
ears.
insane. It's only going to get worse. Um, so do you have any other updates from all the things written in Spanish right now about Firefox OS?
No, like I said, there was also articles popping up. Some articles also in Portuguese are popping up, or bloggers that ordered a phone. Uh, in the Mozilla Hispano help forums, there's nothing, no major bugs. It's still mostly developer questions, and there's in the Mozilla Hispano forums there hasn't been many questions coming in. The Geeks Phone forums is definitely a lot more active.
Okay. Maybe a
But
summary week by week would be interesting of just like how many threads and what are the top two or something
okay.
for all of us dumb English only speakers. Okay, I'm gonna give you another AI for that. Okay, cool. Thanks for monitoring those, both of those. I'm not surprised there's not a lot of threads on Mozilla Hispano yet. We have just a couple posts to our discussion forum for Firefox OS. One about the back button in the SMS app not working, which is a known issue, and one about uploading music, which we thought would be an issue. We do have a couple articles, and we got some good feedback about making the connection between those articles, because they're not really linked except for in related, but you don't always get the same articles in the related section. So I did put a hard link in the one article to the other one. The one about playing music, it now links to the one about adding your music on your phone. And this guy was he was posting on DevGaia about this, and so I asked him for some more information because he sounded frustrated, and he sent me a lot more information, which I forwarded along to the team. And I was trying to find the link. If someone can find the link to his post on the public DevGaia Google group thing and put it here, that would be great. I couldn't find it. I hate Google groups.
Yeah, they're hard to search.
I couldn't find the actual link to the thread, but that would be helpful for all the contributors that read these notes. His overall, the main points that he made was that, the URL that we use for the main page for Firefox OS isn't very helpful because you can't back out into anything that's top level, right? Which we knew that when we redesigned last year. I mean, we talked about this, and but having things under /kb, but then not having any sort of a true hierarchy in the URL, it's true that it's not helpful. He called that out. The header on each of the article pages and the landing pages, that huge Firefox OS header, not being a link back to the top, he called out as being something that could, that seems like low-hanging fruit, something that we could fix. that's super easy and obvious. He was talking about, it's confusing to be in sort of the mode of looking for Firefox OS content and then continually landing on stuff for desktop and Android and other things.
Yeah.
Basically getting lost and not having a way back to a main page. I wish, where the hell's Brom?
Oh, Brahms sent his apologies.
I think
Oh,
he's on
he did?
To a
vacation.
marketplace meeting or something.
Okay, somebody make him watch this video while I'm cursing him. No, I was only cursing him because I wanted him here to help me because he can explain these things and look into them. This is why I've made this whole huge list, not for you guys, but for him.
Yeah. Cool.
So the OS picker that we have is obviously confusing in a Firefox OS context because it tells you that you're on your desktop and what Firefox you're running on your desktop. So that's something we can probably work on. And then we don't have any sort of graphical signposts to let you know that you're on Firefox OS content versus anywhere else. It's all just the same. But Mozilla.org has a lot of good graphics, and maybe we can use something similar to what they're doing. The other thing was for user advocacy. Tyler, I don't know if you read in that thread I sent around, he was saying, I mean, the send feedback link in Firefox OS on the Geeks phone says, improve B2G OS or help improve B2G OS, which was confusing, but it won't be like that on the commercial devices. But then he also thought that some of the other text in there was a little confusing. And he landed on some of the links that we have on input for getting to support, and then came to our support forum and looked for a Firefox OS specific support forum, which is what he is like hoping to find somewhere, anywhere. And ours isn't turned on yet, so he didn't find it. So he got sort of a little increasingly frustrated, but he sent all this feedback and was really pleased with a lot of what he did finally end up finding. But I thought it was, I don't know if you guys have thoughts on this, any of you who had a chance to read it, or things you think we could do about the desktop experience. Okay. I will at least try to drive some of these changes with Brom and Ebi when he gets back and see what things we can do.
Yeah, I think we could just do some tweaks really quickly that will make things a lot better.
Yeah, I do too. I think there's just some obvious things that even he said, when you're working on this stuff all the time, you don't realize like how confusing it really is for a new person. So I told him he's our patient zero. He's like the first guy.
Hello.
Hey, Andrew, how are you? Welcome. We're still in the Firefox OS update section. I was just starting to say that Eltonen is going well for the KB articles, and thanks to everyone still working on the English KB and doing localization. We're approaching 50%. We're probably 40% complete on Eltonen for the launch languages, which is awesome. I'm on the hook to set up all the new topics this week and re-tag the articles into new topics. That will be sort of a combination of the tasks that we have now with apps underneath that apps as the subtopics. And last week, Brom posted links to the optimal tests that they did that showed the results of testing the tasks, testing the apps, testing the combination. So you can go back and look at that data if you're interested. Is there any update on, I have an update on the support forum canned responses for Firefox OS, but it's something we should do as we approach. I mean, we have a couple 6 weeks, couple months left in the quarter. We should make sure that we at least have some canned responses set up for the forum, and that we have appropriate canned responses for Twitter for Army of Awesome. Ralph, I know you were looking at these this week. Do they all seem to make sense? Are we using Firefox canned responses for Firefox OS? Is that what we would be doing probably? Or can we set up unique ones for Firefox OS?
We can set up unique ones.
Right, because we have a separate set for Android, right?
Yeah, yeah, we can set up unique ones. It's pretty much, it's just a matter of creating new wiki articles and then adding the links to them to the existing wiki article, and I can add the link to the Etherpad.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, you do that with the instructions so people can do it. I think it's a little buried how we do this, but it is just wiki pages.
Yeah.
It's just you have to know what the wiki pages are called.
Yeah.
One's called forum response, and I don't know what the other one's called. And then Facebook support update. Do you have anything on that, Ralph?
Yes. So I spoke with Madalena last week, and she mentioned that there's people in engagement that are already that they already have Facebook accounts for Firefox, and they already engage the users through Facebook. And Madalena also mentioned, and I kind of agree with it, that Facebook is more for marketing. So what we're thinking of doing, what we're deciding on doing is let the engagement people manage the Facebook account and handle all the logistics of the Facebook account. But me and whichever contributors would like to join and help also, would love to help. We would go into the Facebook account and help the users through that. So it was Carmen Collins that I spoke with today in a meeting. So if Carmen Collins and Madalena, and Carmen mentioned that she'll be able to give, if there's a contributor interested in helping, that she'll be able to give an admin type of handle to the Facebook account, so that the user will be able to log in as Firefox and help out the users that are already coming into the existing Facebook Firefox page and help them through that. Does that make sense?
Yep, that makes sense. People could also contact you for that, or should they go directly to Carmen?
They can definitely contact me. Yeah, they can get in touch with me. They can contact Carmen also directly. But yeah, they can definitely go through me, and then I can explain a little better if there's any questions or concerns.
Yeah. Well, and you know the contributors who are already working on sumo, so you can sort of verify.
It might also be nice the next time you talk to them to see if they could add kind of to the beats that they send out, messages about sumo as well. Like, here's where you go to get support. Just add that into the cadence of what they're doing every now and then, reminding people where they can go and find support if they're having trouble. Because looking at the Firefox Facebook page, it looks like the comments just end up filling up with, this doesn't work, that doesn't work, sort of things.
It does. It's super tough for us. Tough on us, right? Because people get stranded out there.
But if they were to add that to their normal cadence of talking about an update, and then a couple days later send out a reminder of here's where sumo is, here's where you should ask your questions if you're having trouble, things like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think for some, so they have a lot of canned responses also, and they handle that through just a spreadsheet. But I think that on some of those responses, and whenever they reach out to the users, they also point out to the sumo. But I agree with you, and I also think that it would be really helpful to have like a semi-regular, just a reminder, a post to people that, hey, if you're having issues, and you can go to Sumo. That's a really great idea.
Okay, so you'll do that, Ralph? You'll ask
Mhm.
them to do that? Okay.
Yeah.
And I would say, just to make it easy, we should like just draft something up about what it should say,
Mhm.
right? And just hand it off to them. Like
Mm-hmm.
Patrick, if you have something, you think would be that's sort of consistent with what you're thinking of, maybe you could
Sure.
help Ralph with just drafting something up, and then we could tell them, what it should say.
Definitely.
Cool. Thanks. Patrick, do you have any marketplace updates for this week?
No, I'm just doing a lot of thinking on how we support the developers who are going to be coming into the marketplace, the questions they might be thinking about when they're submitting apps to us and things along those lines. The new marketplace redesign has been put out, and it looks really cool. I really like the fact that it can go from big to shrunk down into Firefox OS size just by resizing the window is a really neat feature, and it makes it easier for them to manage the content. So yeah, that's about it right now.
Cool. Yeah, I noticed that though when you go to the help, and this again is the tagging topic issue. If I go to the help through the marketplace, I get sort of a weird set of topics for marketplace. I get download, install. I don't know what I get download and install tips and tricks and fix problems with websites, and then get the community support. I guess because of the way these articles are tagged.
Yeah, so this is some structure that had been put in place a while back. So I don't think that anybody's gone through and put new articles in or done a redesign around the new marketplace being available. So I have a list of kind of topics that I'd like to add. So we'll be going in and getting those things in there.
Okay. Yeah, that's part of what I'll be doing too this week, is adding topics to the admin and then re-tagging articles so things start to show up with the right topics. I don't remember when I last looked at this, but I'm sure it's my fault that that these are the topics that are appearing now. so I will at least try to fix it to what I think the lesser of the evils are.
Yeah, and it seems to be like a real mix of Firefox OS specific stuff and then marketplace specific stuff. So
Yeah.
it just needs a little bit of tagging help.
Yes. Okay, Ralph, you just added something about Geeks Phone bugs popping up.
So yeah, I had added earlier. It's just a forum on the Geeks phone thread. It's just some new, some bugs that users are reporting, and it's about one post per day or something.
Okay. Are these English?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. And where are most of these people? Are they in Spain or? Like, where are most of the Geeks Phone's customers?
They're shipping all over the world, so.
Oh, really? Okay. Somehow I thought it was Western Europe and Mozilla.
Nope. I think it's everywhere.
Okay, cool.
Okay, thanks for this link. This is good. This is just a good sense of sort of what the things people are going to run into first. Once we launch, if we launch with 1.0.1, which is what all these guys are running. Okay, and so I put a whole section for feedback for Firefox OS that you can just enjoy and read. I'm not going to go through it. But again, the sort of a top 10 list of things we should be thinking about for help articles and canned responses also. Most common things that will come up, like, what about Flash? That was my life on the Firefox for Android. So when I first joined Mozilla, and now it's that here it is again. Everyone asks
Oh,
about
YouTube
Flash.
doesn't play. Okay, that's
Yeah.
what it was Flash, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Roland, give us your Firefox for Android update, unless anyone has comments on the feedback for Firefox OS. Okay, go for it, Roland.
Yeah, I'm back, and
Yay.
another great release, Firefox 21. Tyler and I have not detected it. The crash rate remains low, although we would of course like to improve it even more. As what's the the guy QA guy. Naoki.
Yeah.
Noted. We have crashes to fix, so we can make it even better. We have decent reviews, pretty good reviews, and no major issues in the support forums, as far as I know. So I think kudos to the entire team, especially engineering, because they have made some crash fixes. We have more to go, obviously. It's a never-ending battle, given the amount of chipsets in the mobile world and other low-level things that we don't have control over. Firefox 22, in my absence, Michael Verdi, thank you, Michael, and the researchers, which I guess is John99, thank you, John99, have come to the conclusion, as I came before I left, that there are no KB article updates for Firefox 22. I did put some link to the new tab interface, so we're tweaking the tab interface in 22. If anybody has time, it would be helpful to go through all the bugs in detail and see if what articles need to be modified, if any. I don't think it will be major tweaks. You don't actually have to write the edits, although of course that would be awesome. You could just put it in these changes or that etherpad I linked to, which is ff-android-kb-changes. We do have lots of changes coming down the pipe, starting in Firefox 23 and maybe 24, which will probably need lots of KB article edits. You can check out the roadmap. And finally, last but not least, to steal Tyler's thunder, thank you for the awesome metrics dashboard that we have from Hamilton, which has saved me hours of tagging, and Tyler hours of tagging and days of tagging. So that was Tyler and the user admin team, Hamilton, and I don't even know his last name.
Ulmer.
Of metrics. Thank you. So yeah, that's my update. If Tyler wants to chip in more, Tyler.
Yeah, with that, we're still polishing up. I found a couple bugs in the tagger actually just now that I'm reporting to Hamilton. But if you want access to the auto tagger, let me know. It's behind the VPN, so you have to have access to that. But if you do, we're all good to go, and eventually we're going to work on making it more public. But for now, it's available for people with access to the VPN.
Yeah.
Cool. That's great. So this is part of the sentiment reporting that you're going to start pulling together for mobile.
Oh right, we're gonna have a mobile sentiment report soon too, aren't we? Is that for 22 or?
The mobile sentiment report should come out in about 4 weeks. It'll be for Firefox 21 will be the first one. And it's going to incorporate a lot of what's in this auto tagger. We'll be looking at per device sentiment, all sorts of different metrics in there. So expect that in about a month.
More awesomeness, thank you.
Yeah, per device. Oh, that's gonna be sweet.
Yeah,
Like
well,
a
what
needle
we'll
in a
find is
haystack.
that, as Tyler knows, we'll find that, and as Michelle knows, we'll find that it's the new devices that have the most problems, which makes sense. But yeah, and hopefully we can find breaking devices or training devices, training topics, and all those things that we've asked for. I think we're pretty close, actually.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Tyler. Thanks for tagging for so long and also making sure you got out of the business of tagging.
Oh, Tyler and I will still be tagging, but less frequently for training. We have to keep training the tagger or something, right?
Yeah,
Tyler?
we'll have to keep a fresh training set, but it'll only be a couple hundred pieces of feedback, and not. I think we had 6,000 or 7,000 as the training set we threw out initially.
Oh
So
my God. Yeah. So the other thing I guess we didn't talk about last week, we can talk about now since we have a few minutes, is replying to the Google Play reviews is
Oh,
possible
right.
for Mozilla developers now, which means Tyler and Roland and me. And so, Roland, this is something you'll want to just sort of keep your eye on. You know, when you go to the reviews page, if you see like a gnarly 1-star review for Firefox for Android, maybe you can jump into the console and at least post a response,
Yeah.
trying to
I'll
help.
let Tyler report on this, but Tyler?
yeah, we did. I sent an email out about it last week, but we did run an experiment with replying to Google Play comments. We replied to about 25 1- and 2-star reviews for Firefox 20, I believe it was, and they were all within the last week at the time that we replied. And we were seeing if it would either affect if we would get users commenting back to us or if they would change the reviews. And we didn't get any replies and no reviews got changed. So we're not going to be pushing for an all-out rollout of replying to every negative comment that we get on Google Play. But more, we think that the most effective strategy is going to be along the lines of replying to the top comments that show in the summary on Google Play, or if we have like a large regression that in a new version of Firefox and there's a workaround or an article for that, then we can reply to those comments that have to do with that. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be the most effective, and that's mainly because of the notification email that Google Play uses by default. It's all text, and it's really, really, really hard to read and understand. So until we get the ability to customize that, which we may, since this is a new feature, it's not very valuable.
Yeah, we can basically only supply one link. That's all the flexibility we have. We can't supply our own custom HTML email, which I guess is what we would like, or at least more parameters rather than just one link.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll reserve it for hot issues, I guess, is the summary, right, Tyler? And it's 1.0, they might evolve it, so I'll keep my eye on Tyler. Will keep our eyes on it. They might make it easier, better.
Yeah, we have a couple contacts at Google Play that we're talking to see if we can maybe get this expanded. No promises, but that'd be nice.
Yeah. I think it's good to at least be part of the group that gets to do replies. That's nice.
Yeah, that's true. We can do that now. We couldn't before either, right? At
That's
all.
something. Yeah,
How
but
old were the reviews that we were responding to? Was it a mix or?
They were all within a week of when we did our
Okay,
experiment, so they were fairly new.
gotcha.
It could also be tied that people didn't change their reviews because it's really extremely poor. It's hard for them to do that. Like, it's not obvious how for them to change their star rating or how to reply to your reply.
Exactly. Well, and the email that it sends just says that we posted a reply. It doesn't even give the verbatim of that reply. You have to click on it to view the reply.
yeah.
And then to reply to our reply, you have to send an email to a mailing list that is pretty much abandoned. So it's really clunky, and there's not really, you have to basically do two different things to get continued support. So,
Yeah.
or go to Sumo, which would be ideal, but that's another whole nother interface. So,
Right, but we can't link to Sumo in the reply or anything, so.
we can.
You can? You
yeah,
figured out how to make a live link?
if you use the shortened links, it will let you do that.
It will? Oh, okay. That's
But I mean, we only have 350 characters in the replies, so I mean, you have to keep it pretty short anyways. So
yeah. Oh well.
It'll get better, or they'll scrap the feature.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if everyone has the same experience that we're having with it, they gotta make it better.
that's what we're hoping.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Any other updates? Andrew, are you still there, or did you have to drop? Oh, damn it. I forgot to put it in Pound Sumo, too. I'm not even in Pound Sumo.
Any
What am
word
I
on Mr. I missed that guy, Dave. Where is he?
doing? What? Sorry.
That would have reminded everybody.
Oh, yeah. I know. Well, I've been at least putting it in Pound Sumo, and then people know about it, but I forgot today, so sorry about that.
Well, I can take that function over, but I mean, I'm still not as bold as Dave is. So.
Andrew says he's still on the call, so.
Oh, okay, good. If
Okay.
you had any updates, I just wondered, Andrew, if you wanted
Yeah.
wanted
You
to make
could
any updates, but
rematerialize, or you can put in the chat.
yeah. Nope. He missed the part about the updates about the phones. I don't have updates about devices. So sorry about that. I still don't know where they are. They might be in Florida, or they might be in London. That's as much as I know about the Geeks phones. But I'm continuing
Oh,
to
I
ask.
thought you don't have a whole shipment full in Mountain View or San Francisco. I thought you had box. Oh, it's in London at the boxes. I see that
Yeah, it's
picture. Of the box.
stuck in customs somewhere. So we're still waiting, unfortunately. But as soon as I know something, you guys will know something.
All right.
What does he say? I have posting permission on Mozilla Firefox page. Oh, for Facebook. Oh, cool. So he's one of them. So he's one of the people who can help us with the Facebook replies, Ralph. All right, well, thanks in advance for putting this on the contributor forum, the notes. Andrew, thanks everyone for joining and for the updates about mobile support this week. And we will see you all next week.
All right. I'll get the YouTube.
Thanks.
I'll get the YouTube.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.